The Girl Who Wasn't Supposed to Know. Chapter 1: The Letter. 19-year-old Mira D'Souza never expected her life to hinge on a wrinkled envelope shoved under her apartment door. She'd just returned from her shift at the cafe, tired, smelling faintly of espresso, dreaming of sleep, when she saw it lying there like something out of a spy movie. Thick paper, gold-trimmed edges, and her name written in looping calligraphy. Mira. To be opened privately. She frowned. Only 2 people ever wrote to her. Her best friend Zoe, who dotted her eyes with hearts, and the electricity board, which did not. This was neither. She tore it open. Inside was a single sheet of heavy cardstock. It is time to know where you came from. Your biological family has been searching. Your presence is required at the address below.
Saturday, 10 Uhr morgens.
RG. Below it, one of the most expensive addresses in the entire city. Mira laughed nervously, alone in her tiny studio.
Yeah, right.
Biological family? Rich people mansion? This is how kidnappers get you. But then her heart tugged, because somewhere in the dusty drawer of her nightstand, hidden under old concert tickets, was the adoption file she wasn't supposed to read. The one she'd peeked at a year ago. And one detail had always stood out. Birth parents, identities sealed by court order. Why sealed? Why hidden? And why now? Chapter 2. The Past She Never Knew. Mira woke up the next morning with a knot in her stomach. Her adoptive parents, John and Maria, were wonderful people. They had raised her with warmth despite barely scraping by. Her father drove an auto rickshaw. Her mother stitched blouses for neighborhood weddings. They gave her everything they could. But they had always avoided questions about her origins. Whenever she'd asked, "Why was I adopted?" Maria's voice would shake. "Your mother, she loved you very much. She had to give you up to keep you safe." Safe from what? They never explained. So now, staring at the fancy letter, she felt the familiar ache. The desire to understand herself. To fill the invisible gap inside her. But excitement warred with guilt. What if going meant betraying the only family she ever knew? After hours of thinking, she finally dialed her mom.
Ma.
I got a letter. About my birth family. There was silence. A long, trembling silence. Then her mother whispered, "Oh, Mira, I was praying this day wouldn't come." Chapter 3. The Confession. When Mira reached home, her mother didn't hug her. She just sank onto the sofa, face pale. "You weren't supposed to know," she whispered. "Know what?" Mira demanded. Maria took a fragile breath. "You were adopted as part of an emergency protection order. Your birth mother, she was in danger. You were in danger." "What danger?" Maria shut her eyes. "Your mother came from one of the wealthiest families in the country. Old money, political connections, influence everywhere. When she got pregnant at 19, it created a scandal. Her father ordered the baby to be taken care of." Mira felt her blood freeze. "Taken care of? You mean?" "Yes." Maria wiped tears. "Your biological mother ran away in the middle of the night. She went into labor early and was found outside a clinic by a social worker we knew. We hid her, protected her. When she gave birth, she begged us to take you, to keep you safe, to disappear." Myra's throat tightened. "Is she alive?" "We don't know," Maria said, voice cracking. "The family searched, threatened us. We moved 6 times. Then she left a note one day. 'If they find me, don't let them find her.' And she vanished." Myra's heart pounded. Nothing made sense. Everything made sense. "But then who sent me this letter?" Her mother shook her head. "I don't know. But Mira, please be careful. Rich families don't look for children they tried to get rid of." Chapter 4. The Mansion. Saturday came too quickly. Mira stood before a behemoth of a mansion, massive pillars, sprawling gardens, guards in suits. The kind of place where the gate itself was worth more than her family's yearly income. As she walked toward the entrance, a man stepped forward. Tall, composed, dressed in a sleek gray suit. "You must be Mira." She swallowed. "Who are you?" "Rohan Gupta," he said simply. "Family attorney." "So RG. Why am I here? She asked. He hesitated. Because there's someone you need to meet. He led her into a marble foyer that smelled like polished wood and secrets. At the far end sat a woman in a wheelchair. And when she looked up, Mira felt the air leave her lungs, because she saw her own face reflected back. Chapter 5. The Mother She Never Met. The woman was thin, frail, and breathtakingly beautiful in a delicate way. Her eyes, Myra's eyes, were soft and teary. She whispered, "Mira." Her voice cracked on the name. Mira froze. "Are you?" "I'm your mother," the woman said, and broke into quiet sobs. Myra's legs gave way. She sat beside her cautiously, afraid the woman might disappear like smoke. "Why did you send me away?" Mira whispered. Her mother shook her head desperately. "I never wanted to. My family, they wanted to force me to give you up. And when I refused, they tried to make sure you wouldn't survive." Mira shivered. "So I ran. I hid with people who helped. But my father found out. I had to disappear to protect you." "Then why call me now?" Mira asked, voice trembling. Her mother smiled faintly. "Because I don't have much time left." Myra's heart twisted. "What do you mean?" "Late-stage cancer," her mother said simply. "I've been fighting for 3 years. But the doctors, they've given me months at best." Myra's eyes filled with tears. "This isn't fair," she whispered. Her mother reached out, a trembling hand. Mira took it instinctively. "Asked Rohan, my lawyer, to find you. Not my family. Just him. He's the only one I trusted. I need you to know the truth before I go."
She paused.
"And I need you to be ready for what comes next." "What comes next?" Mira asked. Her mother looked toward the door. And then Mira saw them. 3 people stepping inside. A middle-aged man with cold eyes. A woman dripping diamonds. A young man with a smug expression. Her biological grandfather, aunt, and uncle. Chapter 6. The Rich Family Who Never Wanted Her. The grandfather spoke first, voice sharp enough to cut glass.
"So,
The lost girl returns." Mira stiffened. "I didn't run away. I was taken." The aunt rolled her eyes. Semantics. Her mother slammed her weak fist on the armrest. "Don't talk to her like that." The old man ignored her. "Girl, listen carefully. Your mother has signed her inheritance rights to you. Every property, every share, every asset." Mira blinked. "Inheritance?" "Yes," the uncle said dryly. "You are now heir to nearly half our empire." Mira stared. "I didn't ask for that."
exactly, the aunt snapped.
"So sign it away. The lawyers will handle the paperwork." Her mother suddenly burst out. "And oh!" All eyes turned to her. Her frail body trembled, but her voice was fierce. "You will not bully her. Not again. I gave up everything to protect her from you. I will not let you ruin her life." The grandfather sneered. "Your dying child. You don't get to make demands." Mira felt something hot rise in her chest. "You tried to kill me," she said quietly.
"Why?"
"Why was I such a threat?" The man scoffed. "Because you were a scandal. An illegitimate child. A stain. And now, you're an inconvenience." Mira didn't flinch. She stood. "You don't scare me," she said. "You've taken enough from my mother. You don't get to take anything from me." The aunt laughed coldly. "You think you can fight us? We own everything. The courts. The police. Even your adoption file." "Not anymore," Rohan said suddenly, stepping forward. He held out a folder. "I have recorded evidence, letters, medical reports, and testimony proving the threats, the abuse, and your attempts to harm both mother and child. If anything happens to either of them, the world will know." For the first time, the rich family looked afraid. Chapter 7. The Life She Could Have Had. Over the next few weeks, Myra's world transformed. Her biological mother, whose name was Arya, told her stories of the life she'd wanted to give her. A cottage by the coast. A garden full of marigolds. A childhood without fear. Arya had been trapped in a gilded cage, beautiful on the outside, suffocating within. Every evening, Mira would sit beside her, listening, laughing, crying. They talked about everything: favorite foods, old songs, childhood memories Arya never got to witness. One night, Arya took Mira's hand. "I always imagined you would grow into a brave girl," she whispered. "And you are even braver than I dreamed." Mira swallowed. "Mama, you'll get better. We'll find treatments."
Arya smiled sadly.
"My love, some battles can't be won." Silence. Then she whispered, "Promise me something." "Anything." "Don't let my family destroy you. Don't let money control you. You have a good heart. Protect it." Mira nodded, tears streaming. "I promise." Chapter 8. The War for the Empire. The rich family didn't give up. They tried manipulation, threats,
Bribes.
At one point, the uncle cornered her near the garden. "You're a simple middle-class girl," he said coldly. "You won't survive in our world. Hand over the inheritance, and we'll leave you alone." Mira smiled sweetly. "I may be middle-class, but at least I'm not trash." He sputtered. "You." "Also," Mira added, "I'm recording this." He paled and stormed off. Rohan, meanwhile, protected her legally. He taught her how to read financial statements, understand contracts, and manage assets. "If you inherit," he said, "you must be prepared." But Myra's focus was not on money. It was on Arya and the ticking clock. Chapter 9. Goodbye. The end came gently. Too gently. One morning, Arya didn't wake up. She lay peacefully, her hand slightly stretched out, as if reaching for someone in a dream. Mira broke. She held her mother's limp hand, sobbing. Rohan gently led her away.
Doctors covered the body.
The staff cried silently. The funeral was small. Mira, Rohan, a few loyal workers. The rich family stood at the back, stone-faced. After the ceremony, the grandfather approached her. "So," he said, "now that she's gone, let's finalize the inheritance." Mira stared at him with eyes that had cried too much. "You really feel nothing, do you?" He shrugged. "This is business." Mira held his gaze. "Not anymore." Chapter 10. Her Decision. A month later, in a polished conference room, Mira sat at the head of the table, Rohan beside her. Her mother's will had been executed. Mira was now one of the richest young women in the country. The family expected her to sign everything over. She cleared her throat. "I have made my decision." The uncles smirked. "Finally." Mira continued. "I'm taking full legal control of my mother's assets." Their expressions fell. Anger.
Shock. Panic.
"But," she added softly, "I am not keeping them for myself." The room froze. "I am donating 90% of everything she owned to women's shelters, orphanages, education programs for abandoned girls, and medical support funds." The aunt shrieked. "You can't do that." "I can," Mira said calmly. "And I am." The grandfather gritted his teeth. "Why?" Mira smiled with tears in her eyes. "Because my mother suffered alone. Because she wanted her money to help those who didn't have a voice. Because she died saving me." She leaned forward. "And because I won't let you use her wealth to hurt anyone ever again." Rohan slid a stack of documents toward the family. All legal. All irreversible. The family stormed out in fury. Chapter 11. A New Future. Weeks later, Mira visited her adoptive parents, her real parents, in every way that mattered. She hugged her mother tightly. "Thank you," she whispered, "for saving me, for loving me, for protecting me." Maria cried softly. "We thought we'd lose you." "You never will," Mira said, voice firm. "I know who I am now, and
You are part of that."
her father nodded proudly. "Your mother, your birth mother, she would be proud." Mira smiled sadly. "I hope so." She walked outside and looked at the sky. She wasn't rich anymore, not in money, but she had her identity, her truth, her strength, her two families, and the memory of a mother who had risked everything. She whispered into the wind, "Mama, thank you for giving me life."
I'll honor you.
Always. The wind brushed her cheek softly, like a kiss. And for the first time ever, Mira felt whole. The end.